Believe that you are a better DM now than you used to be when you first started?
A great question of self-reflection. I truly do believe I am a better GM now than back in the day. I learned a lot more about respecting the players. And as the creator of the original video stated, they had an issue where they made a bad ruling and it very much upset and ruined a moment and caused a rift between two people. And that is something that you can do as a GM because these games are social games. These games, people put a lot of emotion, they tie a lot of themselves into their characters. It can get messy fast. I remember valuing my story more than valuing what the players wanted to do, what the players wanted to say. I remember forcing moments, when I was young, running these games, I'd be like, oh no, I think this actually makes more sense for your character, albeit I was a teenager, trying to run these things, but still, regardless, I think that is a terrible way to go about things. My campaigns would fall apart because the players didn't feel like they were a part of the story. They felt like they were along for the ride for my novel, and they would get tired of it, and then we would have to start a new campaign. I would have to monorail pitch for them to join in a thing, and they'd start new characters. I think that was a big thing that I had to learn, and when I started doing actual play stuff and started funny enough, trying to tell a story using TTRPGs and, working a lot more with the players, I had much more of a realization of it's the players that are really helping me tell this story. It's not me helping the players have fun with the story. And we're working together, we're collaborating, we're all equals at this table. I think that was one of the biggest lessons I had to learn, and learn the hard way through a lot of groups, falling apart and stuff like that. But I've learned to be more conscious about player safety, about being inclusive in my games, about being more thoughtful with my actions. Now I run a lot of horror style games, and that means that I have to even put forward the extra measure of making sure that everyone's safe at the table, because there's a lot of difficult subjects in horror, and I have to keep checking in. So yeah, I definitely think that there was times where I as a GM would make bad calls. I as a GM would force the plot along. I would find ways to take out NPCs that the party really liked, that they were spending too much time around, just so that I could move my story forward and tell my novel. And now I collaborate and work and tell a story with my players, and we tell the story that we all want to tell together. Really like these kind of questions. That was fun.